So, what if the entire business model of the printing industry is fundamentally broken? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical solution: the circular economy. And there's one company, GM Technology, that isn't just talking about it. They've built this massive industrial engine around the whole concept. So, let's break down exactly how they're pulling it off. Okay, first, let's just try and wrap our heads around the scale here. You see this number? 21,500. That's how many pieces of equipment they have in active circulation as we speak. This isn't some small pilot program. This is a full-blown industrial scale operation with some serious capacity. And, well, that kind of scale, it translates directly into financial muscle. We're talking 26.7 million euros in revenue. That really cements their place as a major player in Europe. And it proves the model isn't just some green initiative, it's actually a very profitable one. Now, here's where it gets really interesting: their reach. Their operations span 80 different countries. This isn't just an idea that works in one little region, it's a global execution. It's a system that's proven to work just about everywhere. So we're not just talking about good intentions here, we're talking about real scale, real capacity, and real execution. So, why does all this matter so much? Well, it's because the entire industry is up against a huge challenge. The market is basically demanding a zero cost per copy. Margins are getting squeezed to their absolute breaking point, and the original equipment manufacturers, the OEMs, they still have a tight grip on the most profitable part of the business: the consumables. When you really look at it that way, the current model, it's just not built to last.
And here's the thing. This is the really crucial point. Without some genuine innovation, without real technological independence, businesses are just caught in a pricing trap. I mean, how can you possibly compete on cost without completely destroying your own profits? This isn't just some minor issue. It's a fundamental flaw baked into the very structure of the industry.
And that is exactly where GM Technology steps in. Look, they aren't offering a band aid fix or some kind of tactical workaround. They're positioning themselves as the structural solution to this industry wide problem, the ideal partner to completely transform the model from the ground up. This isn't some new fad for them. They've been in the remanufacturing game for over 30 years, way before circular economy was even a buzzword. For them, this isn't about jumping on a trend, it's literally in their industrial DNA. They've poured 3 decades into developing the processes, the tech, the culture. Today, remanufacturing is their core competitive strategy. So, how did they build this circular engine? All right, let's pop the hood and take a look at the actual assets and processes that make this whole model tick.
It all starts right here in their modern toner remanufacturing factory. You've got a specialized team of 50 people, all working to the highest quality standards. This high production capacity means they can not only meet the growing demand, but also customize products for the specific needs of each and every client.
Okay, this is where it gets really cool. What makes a toner cartridge actually work well? Turns out it really comes down to one key ingredient: resin. It makes up 90% of the entire mix. GM has a strategic deal with a Japanese manufacturer that supplies the exact same type of resin the big brands use. So this means their formula isn't just kinda close to the original, it's functionally identical, and that ensures top-tier performance.
This is where things get really interesting. Instead of a one-way ticket to the landfill, it's a closed loop. Nothing is wasted. The raw material is what gets recovered. This allows for total control over the entire life cycle of an asset, from its creation all the way back to its beginning.
And that just perfectly sums up their core value proposition, right? They're giving you quality that is absolutely equivalent to the original manufacturer, but with a cost model that's built for the circular economy. They're not just trying to copy the old linear model, they're aiming to make it obsolete through efficiency, optimization, and total control of the product lifecycle. And this approach isn't just for some obscure brand either. We're talking about solutions that work with all the major names you know and trust in the industry, from Ricoh and Canon, all the way to Xerox and Sharp. A huge piece of that control is their own proprietary MProg technology for resetting chips. This is what gives them true technological independence. It slashes costs, gives them control over the entire life cycle, and guarantees compatibility. And maybe most importantly, it means they are not at the mercy of OEM firmware updates, those notorious updates that can suddenly block third-party cartridges from working. This tech gives them, and by extension their clients, complete freedom. Well, the financial benefits are just huge. Their logistics model means you can get supplies sent directly to your clients. So, no more tied up capital, a big reduction in capital expenditures, and way more efficient logistics. It's a win-win-win. And it doesn't stop there. They offer full customization for your company. That means white labeling is possible on everything, the equipment and the packaging for the consumables. It's a fantastic way to build your own brand.
So, because of this tech, we're not just talking about remanufacturing anymore. We're talking about being a technological and industrial operator that can monitor an entire fleet of equipment. It's a completely different level of service. So, how can you really trust the quality? Well, this is the proof right here. Now, I know the name is a bit of a mouthful, BSI BS 8887-220-2010, but what it means is actually pretty simple. It's the gold standard. It's the international certification that says a remanufactured product will perform exactly like a brand new one. And it's this certification that lets them back every single product with a full 2-year warranty. So, what does it really mean to be the top independent operator in this space? It means having an unmatched global knowledge of the broker market. It means having a powerful network of 500 distributors in Spain alone. And it means being trusted to manage huge operations for giants like Konica Minolta and Xerox, expertly turning their idle stock into either instant cash or raw material for the circular process. So let's just put it all side by side. The traditional OEM model is linear. They make new products, sell original toner. Simple. The GM technology model, though, is circular. You get certified remanufactured products and OEM quality toner. The result? you get the exact same reliability, but with way more efficiency and a much, much better cost structure. And this all builds to the most critical takeaway of all, giving every single asset 3 useful lives. The old OEM model was linear. You make it, you use it, you toss it. One life, that's it. But GM Technology's circular model creates a second life through remanufacturing with OEM quality toner. And then their Green Line 2 process pushes it even further, getting up to 3 complete cycles from a single product. This doesn't just tweak the old system, it fundamentally changes the economics and sustainability of the entire industry. It creates more value, way less waste, and a much smarter path forward.
Okay, so we've seen how the model works. Now let's get to what's probably the most important part. What does any of this actually mean for your business? What are the real, tangible advantages of making a shift like this? Let's start with the bottom line, with the money. The economic benefits here are direct, and they are powerful. First off, you slash your cost per copy. Then you improve your contractual margins. You also get to completely eliminate the need to destroy old assets. And finally, you can actually turn your recovered equipment into a brand new revenue stream. But beyond the immediate financials, the strategic gains are all about setting yourself up for the future. I mean, think about it. You gain independence from the OEM's pricing, from their control. You secure your supply chain with a solid European industrial partner. And you create a massive competitive advantage over anyone who's still stuck in that old linear way of thinking. And of course, in today's world, you can't ignore the ESG benefits. They're absolutely critical. This model directly addresses what everyone's demanding by cutting CO2 emissions and waste, putting a real circular economy into practice, and guaranteeing compliance with European directives. So, to quickly recap their core offerings, their model makes a near-zero carbon footprint copy possible by combining remanufactured machines with recycled toner. And their brokerage experience helps companies manage those underutilized assets, keeping value in-house and even creating brand new revenue streams. And you should know, this model is already working at a massive scale. GM Technology currently has over 25,000 machines out in the field generating recurring revenue, all under strict European standards. They even have a specialized department just for the public sector, making sure every contract complies with all the new EU legislation on remanufacturing. Right now, GM Technology is in a major expansion phase, and they are actively looking for new partners all across Europe, whether you're a supplier of used equipment, a client for their remanufactured products, or a strategic partner looking to help fuel their growth. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the story. This isn't just about showing you a new model. It's really an invitation to lead this transition together. The perspective here is crystal clear. GM Technology doesn't just see themselves as another supplier in a long chain. No, this is all about partnership. It's about building something stronger together. And ultimately, their entire mission, their whole reason for being, can be summed up in this one single idea. We are the industrial partner that enables your company to lead the circular transition in Europe. So, as we wrap things up, I just want to leave you with this one thought. The industry's shift to a circular model feels, well, it feels inevitable at this point. It's not really a question of if anymore, it's a question of when. The only real question left to answer is, who's going to lead it?